thanks so much for tuning in to today's Drawing for Kids class brought to you by the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Today we're going to be drawing colorful castles using colored pencils. So if you have a sheet of paper and a pencil, we will jump in. Here is an example of what I will be drawing today. We're going to be using basic shapes to create this, so it looks maybe a little bit complicated for those little ones out there, but we are going to master this just using basic shapes. So let's go ahead and start out with a rectangle there in the middle of our paper. And then we're gonna make two lines on either side of that rectangle to make two long skinny rectangles. Try to make them about the same size. And then we are going to make another rectangle that is in the center there. So that's kind of stacked right on top. And it should be about the same width as the two rectangles on either side of that first rectangle we drew, except it should be a lot shorter here, as you can see. Then what we'll do is we will draw triangles on top of those rectangles. Then, to get that cool castle top design, we will draw a bunch of small rectangles that are all about the same size and shape on top of that first rectangle that we drew. Once you've drawn that, then you can go ahead and start drawing these shapes for the windows and the door. Kind of look like a long rectangle, but with a half circle on top instead of a straight line. Now you can see I'm adding some line detail work into the door, and I've added a little doorknob. I am going to draw some windows here on the front, and you can see the technique that I used there is a little bit unique. And then I'm adding some curved lines with the flags to make it look like they are kind of blowing in the wind. I've added some trees, some scalloped roof, path along the front here in the foreground that leads to the door, flowers alongside, and also just some texture in the leaves of the trees. But please note that you can, of course, add as many or as little detail as you would like. This is your drawing, so it's important that you just have a lot of fun with it. So you can go ahead and start coloring once you have finalized all of the details in your drawing. You can see that I'm using a colored pencil tool to color this in, and right now I am starting out by just coloring everything solid. So I'm pressing down kind of medium pressure, not too hard, not too light, to just get everything kind of colored in. I am also only using a few colors. Sometimes that can be nice to just not use every single color in your box, but instead be a little bit more selective and picky about what colors you choose to use. For example, I chose the same green for the door and the little rooftops, and also for the trees. So once you've colored in all of the details in the castle and in the trees, etc., then you can go ahead and start coloring in the grass and the sky. Now, if you have done this and you want to call it done, that is wonderful, but you could also take it to the next step. Colored pencils are really great for layering, and what that means is you can basically color in one color, and then you can come back in with another color or press down harder with the same color, but just kind of applying more pressure to make it darker. And yeah, you can stack a couple colors on top of each other. So it's a fun way to kind of take it an extra step. And so you can see here how I am doing that with these little pink bricks to make it extra colorful. And then the other thing you can do is you can really adjust how hard you're pressing down with your pencil. So in some cases, you could press down a little bit harder and you could make an area darker. You'll see that in just a moment. Or you can make it where it kind of fades out to make it a little bit lighter. And lastly here, that's where I'm going to add that purple shading in here. And that is my final touch. So I hope you've enjoyed today's drawing video.